A horrific headline has emerged from Chandigarh University in Punjab, where after massive student protests, the university has in fact been closed for a few days. Basically, what we know so far is that students are alleging that at least 6 videos of female students bathing were filmed by another student, also a girl, who then passed them on, probably sold them, is the allegation, to a man in Simla. Students are also alleging that the university was non cooperative and it has tried to cover up the case. Mojo story is on the ground, but at the moment, students are being asked to leave. This, of course, like everything else in India, has now erupted into a major political fight. Protests have gone on through the night for the last 48 hours, and now the university is temporarily shutting shutter, as it is in the headlines, for all the wrong reasons. But once again, it is young women who find their private space violated, their private space coercively sexualized, and it also brings home the demons of the social media space and the pressures that they often create on young girls. Let me introduce our guests on the program today as we look at this, not just the politics, which we care less about, but about what these girls must be going through, which we care much more about. Let's introduce our guest. Up first on the program, if we can bring her into the box now, is Neelam Mansingh. Neelam Mansingh, of course, is a well known theatre activist, and we welcome Neelam to the program. Also joining us on the program is Ranjeeta ji. Let's bring her into the box now. Ranjeeta ji is, of course, a social activist. She's with Haryana's State Council for the Rights of Children, and in the past has also been a spokesperson of the BJP. But today she's here in her capacity as a social activist. Namaskar, Ranjeeta ji. Great to see you. Also joining us on the program is Gurmehar. Gurmehar Kaur is a well-known author. She's from Punjab. She's from Jalandhar, and of course, she has been an outspoken feminist on many issues as they relate to young women. Great to see you again, Gurmehar, after a while. From the Aam Aadmi Party, remember, this is a litmus test for the Aam Aadmi Party. Unlike Delhi, they can no longer say that the police is not with us. We're joined by Dr. Sunny Singh Ahluwalia, leader of the AAP. Thank you, sir. And also joining us from the BJP is Dr. Dharinder Tayal, leader of the BJP in Punjab. Namaskar, and I'm very much hoping that you can hear me. Before I get comments from all of you, I want to do one thing. I want to actually take you through the allegations that the students are making. And students कहते हैं हमारी बात सुनने के लिए कोई तैयार नहीं. Many of these students didn't want to come on record, but we've spoken to a whole number of them and pieced together this account, which is from the students, but on background. So let's take you through these comments. The students are saying at least 6 girls, maybe more, have been filmed secretly without their consent in absolute violation of privacy while they were bathing in the university hostel. They're also saying that these videos, these private videos, they believe have been sold. We're hearing differing amounts. The students believe that there was lakhs to be made for the videos that were sold in the dark web, as it were. There are students, the police has not confirmed this. We want to make it very clear. The police is not confirming this, but the students are alleging that the videos have been auctioned to internet pornography sites. Like I said, these are allegations by the students, who are also saying that they alerted the hostel warden to the fact that one of the female students was doing this, but the university did not cooperate and they tried to hush up the matter. Jammers say the students were put for the last 48 hours as the protests were raging so that the students could not call outside and could not make external commentary except for the media that reached the ground to cover these mass protests. Also, that college authorities threatened the students of disciplinary action if the protests did not stop, and that finally the decision to leave the campus is not theirs but one that has been enforced on them. As we said in the beginning of this program, the university has in fact shut its shutters for a few days in an attempt to bring order back. The police has strongly refuted online rumors that they were attempted suicides. I just want to underline that the police is saying nothing of the kind actually happened. And so we also want to underline that, and have you know that we have no such independent corroboration. We only have the denial of the police. But the allegations are extremely serious. And before I get the politicians in, because once the politicians start talking, the space shrinks for others, I want to actually get the women on this program with the permission of the men. And I want to start with the youngest woman on this program, because this is about young girls. It is about the pressure that the internet creates to have a sexualized version of yourself. The initial report suggested that the woman who actually filmed the videos was sending videos to her boyfriend. This is unclear. There's another video Gurmehar will play out later where she's actually telling the hostel warden that she doesn't even know the man very well whom she's sending these videos to. As a young woman, Gurmehar, when you see what's happening, what's the first thing that comes into your mind?
I think that too. I think that two bits of it. I think that two aspects are really one I think of, which is one anger and the other is shame. And I think the protest which we are seeing is sort of signaling towards this almost very general anger of students towards private universities and the way they financially exploit students with the promise of safety, superior education. These students, they come from tier 2, tier 3 cities, and many of them, I am from Punjab. I know what Chandigarh University is like. Many of them are first generation students who are going to colleges. Their experience of anger is completely justified within their own, and the right to protest is justified because the university has shown this inability to create a safer learning environment for these women students. And on the other hand, there is at the heart of this whole tragedy is shame. And this is also an age where young people are permanently concerned about what people are thinking about them, and specifically women, because in our deeply patriarchal society, that sort of burden weighs significantly. And having spoken about shame, it is also important that as society, as people, as anyone commenting on social media today, we act responsibly, you know accounting facts, and don't indulge in vilifying one versus the other.
Who do you hold accountable? Is it the government? Is it the university? Is it both?
With the facts that I have in hand, I think 100% I hold both accountable. The university for not taking action when the warden was alerted, for sort of trying to hush up what was happening within the dorm rooms, and also the government because of how the state police is acting with protesting students. You cannot, putting jammers so that students are not able to talk. It is a violation of a very fundamental right.
Yeah. Let me bring in Neelam Mansingh and then I'll go to Ranjeeta ji. Neelam, you're from Chandigarh. You have, this is the city in a way that has been, your life. When you see something like this, happening, and massive student protests, and finally the three people have been arrested, including the girl who's accused of making these videos and the man she sent them to. But this is not over. This is not over. And for the Aam Aadmi Party, for the university promoters, and the university promoter, is seen to be somebody who's very close to the BJP. So we'll ask the BJP spokesperson about that as well. Everyone has answerability here. Neelam, your thoughts?
I do believe that universities should function as moral agents. When I talk about morality, I don't mean it in the narrow, crude, direct sense of the word. What I mean to say is that the people at the helm of the whole situation, the administrator, the warden, the management, their handling of this scenario was completely inapt. It needn't have escalated to the extent that it did if the handling had been a little more sensitive, more mature, and more mindful. Uh, Now, what has happened is stories and narratives are interlocking, that fact and fiction has completely blurred the lines of how to actually view this whole situation. Uh,
That's such an important point, and I want to come in there because actually one of the most disturbing things was these reports of attempted suicides, and they've been actually completely denied. But the set of images, if we can just play them while Neelam speaks, the sight of a girl being put into an ambulance, that's what started the rumor that there have been attempted suicides. The police then had to say that the girl actually fainted. No suicide attempts had been made, but this information or misinformation went viral, and it created that fear, anger, shame of the kind that Gurmehar was referencing. Go ahead, Neelam, complete your point.
I mean, in the sense that people get a place in the hostel because it seems to represent safety, protection, and a structure. And to feel that has been violated completely is very, very disturbing. On the other hand, there's so many contradictions in this whole situation. Like, for example, if there was one girl taking an intimate picture of herself and sharing it with her boyfriend with the consent, then I think it's an intimate, private space which we don't seem to necessarily need a viewpoint on it. But if she's filming other girls also bathing or being, when the private becomes public, it can be pretty horrific. Then there is a major issue of which has to be
and this clarity we've not had even today, even 2
No.
days after the, and that's where I want to bring in Ranjeeta, there are things we simply don't know. Personally, we have been talking to students, friends of students, trying to talk to their families, and we told you that the students are convinced. वो तो 6 छोड़िए, वो 60 लड़कियों की बात करते हैं. They say 60 girls were filmed in the hostel. There has been mass auction. They're talking about these videos being sold, for a huge amount of money. Now, this is impossible for us to independently corroborate, Ranjeeta ji. You are now tasked with looking at the rights of children. You're right there in close by to this university. What would you like to say, Ranjeeta ji?
Barkha ji, I have also spoken many of the students who are studying there. मेरे को उन्होंने clearly ये बताया है कि मैम एक्चुअल में वीडियोस बनाई गई हैं और जो फर्स्ट नैरेटिव था उस लड़की का जिसको अरेस्ट किया गया है वो एक्सेप्ट कर रही है सबके सामने कि हाँ मैंने बनाई हैं, हाँ मैंने भेजी हैं. एंड आफ्टर दैट व्हेन पुलिस एंटर्ड एंड एवरीथिंग द स्टोरी इज डिफरेंट. नो ओनली 4 वीडियोस वर देयर. वो उसकी अपनी वीडियोस थी, वो अपनी वीडियोस ही भेज रही थी और कोई सुसाइडल अटेम्प्ट नहीं हुआ है. सब बच्चे गर्मी की वजह से फेंट हो रहे थे. हमें खुद में समझ में नहीं आ रहा था. तो देयर आर डिफरेंट थिंग्स एंड डिफरेंट स्टोरीज फ्रॉम डिफरेंट माउथ. तो वहां पे एक्चुअल में पता चला है कि जो ये जगह थी जहां पे ये इंसिडेंट हुआ है, इट वाज ए बॉयज हॉस्टल एंड इट वाज कन्वर्टेड टू गर्ल्स हॉस्टल रिसेंटली. तो इसके अंदर जो प्रिकॉशंस होनी चाहिए गर्ल्स हॉस्टल के अंदर, ना तो वहां पे कोई कैमरास इंस्टॉल थे. वॉशरूम का कॉमन एरिया जो बॉयज का होता है उस तरीके का ही अभी है. वहां पे प्रॉपर पार्टीशंस नहीं थे जो कि होनी चाहिए, जिसकी वजह से वो लड़की एमएमएस बना पाई और पता नहीं वो कब से बना रही थी. तो बाद में स्टोरीज को टिकर करके उसको छुपाया जा रहा है या उसको कवर करने की कोशिश की जा रही है. एक्चुअल में फैक्ट इज दैट कि कुछ ना कुछ तो ऐसा हुआ है जिससे इतना बवाल हुआ. उन्होंने वीडियोस उस लड़की के मोबाइल पर देखी, उसके बाद ही लड़कियों ने इतने क्वेश्चंस किए, वरना चीजें वहीं की वहीं खत्म हो जाती.
तो आपको लगता है कि कवर अप है?
बिल्कुल कवर अप है, क्योंकि वार्डन जिस तरीके से उस लड़की को डांट रही थी कि तुझे शर्म आनी चाहिए, तू अपनी दा बनांदी, तू होरां दी भी बना रही थी. द वर्ड शी यूज, तू अपनी दा बनांदी सी, तू होरां दी भी बना रही थी. एंड द गर्ल वाज एक्सेप्टिंग इन फ्रंट ऑफ द कैमरा, यस शी वाज डूइंग दैट. और वो उस लड़की के कहने पे कर रही.
I'm glad you brought up that video, क्योंकि वो वीडियो हमारे पास है और 2 मिनट का वीडियो है. डॉक्टर आहलूवालिया और डॉक्टर धरिंदर से मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी दैट यू जस्ट हियर दिस वीडियो, क्योंकि रंजीता ने बार बार उनका रेफरेंस दिया. वो पंजाबी में वार्डन बोल रही है कि आप अपना भी बना रहे थे तो आप बाकियों का भी बना रहे थे, क्यों आपने ऐसे किया? एंड देन शी आस्क्स हर कि आप जानते थे उस आदमी को? And the girl is actually, whether she's scared, whether she's telling the truth, we don't know. But she's kind of quivering and saying, मैं तो उसको अच्छी तरह से जानती भी नहीं थी. So before I come to Dr. Ahluwalia and Dr. Dharinder, let's listen to this video that shows the warden of the hostel scolding this girl who is accused and now in jail of filming these videos.
इसका पूरी अरफनंगी करो, इसकी बनाओ वीडियो, भेजो ले कागज, पोस्टर बनवाए हम इसके, बेशर्म के. किसी ने बोला तेरे को वीडियो बनाने के लिए? अपॉलॉजी लेटर मेरे को दे दे, तेरे इंसिडेंट रिपोर्ट बनेगी, तेरे को सस्पेंड करेंगे आज ही. कंसर के पास भेज दे मेरे को. क्यों प्लीज मारो एक तरफ, फिर कंप्लेंट करते हैं कि वार्डन थप्पड़ मारने को बोलती है. कितना गंदा काम, घिनौना काम कर रही है तू. इनकी क्या इज्जत नहीं है किसी की? फिर क्यों करती, किसके कहने पे करती है? तेरा बहुत बुरा हाल कर देंगे बाहर. किसने बोला तेरे को बनाने के लिए? किसने बोला? वहां डीएस रूम में तेरे मुंह से सब कुछ उगलवा लेना उन्होंने. कौन लड़का है वो, कहाँ का है वो? तो अब तू जानती तभी तो उसको तू भेज रही वीडियो, शिमला का तू कहाँ से है? फिर वो तेरे को जानता था, पुराना यार दोस्त है वो। फिर तेरे को उसका क्या डर कि उसके कहने पे तो इनकी सबकी इज्जत उछाल रही है। यहाँ पढ़ता है वो, हाँ कौन है लड़का वो? क्यों भेजती है उसको इनकी वीडियो बना के? क्यों भेजती है? वहां तेरा पुलिस में केस देना है डीएसडब्ल्यू वालों ने, तू बनाती क्यों है? तेरे से उस लड़के का नंबर भी लेंगे, उस लड़के का तेरे से सब कुछ पूछेंगे, उसके घर तक पहुंचना, तेरे घर तक मैं तेरे को हॉस्टल में बिल्कुल नहीं रखूंगी। इसका इंसिडेंट रिपोर्ट बनेगी, जो मैं मैडम से बात करती हूँ। क्यों करूँगा प्लीज, क्यों शुरू करना? इतना गंदा काम कर रही है तू, क्या पता तो कब से इनका कर रही है सबका, कब से बना रही है इनकी वीडियो सबकी? मेरे को सच बता, सब कुछ सच बोल दे, यहाँ पे बैठ के सब कुछ सच बोल दे। कौन है लड़का वो? क्या लगता है तेरा? कुछ नहीं लगता।
It's a very disturbing video because we also have to remember that the woman at the heart of this now in jail is also a young woman. I'm making absolutely no excuses for her if she's filmed these women and she's sold them. It is a horrifying violation. But जैसे रंजीता जी ने कहा, अगर आप ये वीडियो देखें डॉक्टर आहलूवालिया, तो इसमें तो बड़ा क्लियर नजर आता है कि वार्डन उनको डांट लगा रही है और वो डिनाई नहीं कर रही है, वो कभी डिनाई नहीं करती कि उसने ये वीडियोस बनाई हैं। इनफैक्ट वार्डन उनसे बार बार पूछती है कि तुमने इनकी क्यों बना के भेजी, कौन लगता है वो आदमी तुम्हारा, और वो एक बारी भी नहीं कहती कि मैंने नहीं इनकी की, मैंने सिर्फ अपनी वीडियो भेजी, विच इज नाउ द वर्जन दैट हैज कम आउट। अब मैं बहुत कंफ्यूज्ड हूँ, अगर पुलिस कहती है कि ये 6 वीडियोस नहीं है तो फिर अरेस्ट क्यों किया है? I am very, very confused. I don't understand the contradictions of the police right now in Punjab. Dr. Ahluwalia, please, बताइए.
See, Barkha ma'am, first of all, this Chandigarh University is in part of Mohali. So this is a private university. This is not the Chandigarh University, which everyone was asking that this was either a main Chandigarh University, though it is a private university. And this private university's vice chancellor is Mr. Satnam Singh Sandhu. So initially also we came to know that there were some complaints which was even raised to the management level, but there was no action taken at that time. Now the main thing was when the administration came to know about it, and Bhagwant Singh Mann, the chief minister who is out of India, he called specially to the main concerned person and the SSP, and they took the initial investigation. And in the initial investigation, it comes to our notice that there was only one video, and that police has explained in their press conference. When we talk about that, there are either 5-6 videos, and these 5-6 videos are already out. When I say that either they have been sold to somebody or they are getting viral somewhere, but in initial investigations nothing of this kind have came out. But
तो फिर अरेस्ट क्यों, सर? अगर ये सच है कि ये रूमर है, ये फेक न्यूज है, तो इस लड़की को फिर अरेस्ट क्यों किया गया? आई एम एक्सट्रीम। अगर उसने अपनी वीडियो, आज नीलम जी सेड, अपनी वीडियो कंसेंट एडल्ट है, ये माइनर गर्ल्स नहीं है, अपनी वीडियो खुद की मर्जी से एक आदमी को भेजी है, तो उस लड़की को अरेस्ट क्यों किया? उस आदमी को आप फिर भी अरेस्ट कर सकते हैं, पर आपने इस लड़की को क्यों अरेस्ट किया अगर ये झूठ है और एक ही वीडियो उसका अपना है?
I said initial investigations shows this, but at the same time, when other girls have also complained of this and they are out on some kind of a strike there, our SSP visited the site, our administration deputy commissioner personally visited the site, and they came to know by these girls that there are some other videos. So it was necessary at that moment to investigate the issue at a deeper level. So first press conference shows that there is only one video, but the investigations are going on, and Bhagwant Singh Mann and our Minister for Sports and Youth, Mr. Meet here, is definitely looking into this matter, and soon anybody responsible for doing all these kind of things will not be spared at any cost, because they says now the people are saying that why it was initially that you have done a press conference. See, the police is in action, and it is the responsibility of police. If there are some kind of rumors or there is a reality, we have to investigate things.
So before I come to Dr. Dharinder, okay, एक मिनट, you are saying कि अभी तक Abhi tak, according to the investigation, and this is on record from the police, there is only one video that has been found. That video is of this girl, this young woman herself, filming herself and sending it to this man. अभी बाकियों की ऐसी videos नहीं मिली हैं, लेकिन investigation ongoing है. Dr. Dharinder, as a leader of the BJP, how do you see what has happened? Of course, you're the opposition in Punjab. आप is the ruling party. आप और बीजेपी के झगड़े चलते ही रहते हैं, दिल्ली में भी चलते हैं, बाकी प्रदेशों में भी चलते हैं. पर ये हमारी लड़कियों का सवाल है. This is a question of what happens to our young girls. I think women, at least, are not interested in the tutu meme of party politics right now. How do you see what has happened, sir?
Barkha, even I would not want to look at it on political lines, and I think this is definitely not an issue that should get politicalized. I would also want to look at it as a father of two girls. You know, my daughters are also studying somewhere, and if this kind of a thing was to happen there, how would I feel? I would look at it purely from that perspective. I think it is terrible that something like this has happened. And 100% the investigation should happen, and whoever, I mean, there could be several people involved in the whole thing, and whatever be the case and whoever it is, I think the action taken should be exemplary in this case, so that
Yes.
when our daughters are studying somewhere, we can feel secure that nobody would dare do such a thing. So,
Yes.
I mean, that would be my take. And I mean, there are political ramifications of this, undoubtedly. But at this moment, I think I would not want to go into those. There have been issues, people have been talking about whether there was one or there are many. It is under investigation, let's put it that way. But yes, a couple of things I would want to say, and I would, though they may sound that, I'm as a part of the BJP, I'm trying to take on AAP. But I would say that this I'm saying more as a father than anything else. Is one that Dr. Ahluwalia just said that there is just one video. Now, immediately the moment this thing broke out, the first tweet from Mr. Kejriwal said there are many. Now, I feel that was very irresponsible on his part to at that stage create that sort of a panic as a national head of a party which is ruling Punjab, to immediately without investigation say
Because that's
that
what
there
the
are
students were saying. That's what the students are saying.
no, so there is a difference between what the students are able to say and what a person in a responsible position says. When somebody as responsible as Mr. Kejriwal says there are many, then you have to believe there are many. So I think it was very premature. It was not warranted for him to say that. I mean, what was ideal was, as Dr. Ahluwalia has said, that let the investigation proceed. Let us understand how many were there, whether they were of herself or of others, and whatever the investigation yield, that be the case. The second part, which has been, I'll just say that the second part which has been done, which you've reported that jammers were used, I think that is something that obviously the police could have done. Now, that kind of a thing, I understand that in administrative terms, rumors were spreading, everything was happening. But still, I believe that to control that is something that the police should have done, but the use of jammers or stifling of that kind should not have ideally been done.
Can I briefly, before I go to Ranjeeta, Neelam and Gurmehar, get Dr. Ahluwalia to respond to this? One, Arvind Kejriwal's tweet. Two, the seemingly contradictory accounts of the administration. And three, students are not happy. We have on video arguments, ferocious arguments taking place between the protesters and the state police. आपने भी वो videos देखी होंगी, Dr. Ahluwalia.
Ma'am, number one is, I clearly mentioned this, that Arvind Kejriwal has clearly said in his tweet that there are things which are moving out, that there are many videos. So looking at that, he has tweeted. And after tweet, he even called Bhagwant Mann, who was out of India, he even called Meet here, who is the minister for that. And he was concerned about the issue. And immediately the action, if you see, this was for the first time that police have taken action swiftly, cleanly, and fast. It was at the top priority. When anybody says, if I talk about the background of the university people, I know from which political party they are, but I will not mention it because this is the time when we all have to come together and fight these kinds of rumors or these kinds of problems. Kejriwal sir was very sensitive. We were there in Delhi at that time, and he initiated this process, and he was the first one to report this and said that we have to handle all girls, we say in Punjabi as well कि कुड़ियां ते भैनां सांझियां हुंदियां सब दियां. So it was our responsibility, and if he has tweeted, it was just that we have to take care of all these kinds of things, and we are responsible that
Okay,
if these things happen anywhere in the country, and he has taken the initiative to do that. So we should rather politicize
Okay.
this issue. We should talk about the main things.
And I'm grateful to both of you. Yeah, sorry, 1 minute.
Just a
I'm
second.
grateful to.
This
Acha,
this
boliye.
this this university initially belongs to a person who is a part of BJP, but I have not said that. Why? I know that this is an issue which is
I
related
mean, you
to
just
the
said
girls,
it. You just
to
said it.
daughters. No, I said because don't try to make it politicized, because I have many things. Why the action was not taken initially? Why it was not reported to the police by the management? Why it was not done? It was not done. Why? Because they have some kind of दादागिरी के कोई नहीं सरकार सेंटर में हमारी है कुछ भी होएगा हम देखेंगे. So these are the things that we should not talk about at this moment. But yes, in case you says that who is the person behind this, these are the person and what are they thinking, why they were unable to take action for so long, why they have not informed the police. So these are the point that we should not do politicize these issues.
Okay.
This is the time to come together
I
and
am
fight
playing.
this issue.
Okay. आप ये वो कहते हैं ना कि ना कहते भी बात कह गए अपनी. The Indian Express today, of course, reported the point that you're making on its front page, that the promoter of the university is a fan of the Prime Minister. This is a recent event that he had. We're showing you those pictures, but I'm not sure what that changes this way or that way. It's a fact. It is in the public domain. I'm seeing both Dharinder and Ranjeeta raise their hands. Dharinder, can I give this
Because
to Ranjeeta?
both are from BJP, so they have a problem here.
Well,
They are from BJP.
let Ranjeeta come in since Dharinder just spoke. Ranjeeta, please go ahead. Ranjeeta.
हरिंदर जी, हमने आपको यही नहीं कहा कि केजरीवाल जी अपने जो भगवंत मान जी हैं उनको कस्में खिलाते हैं उनकी माँ की कि आप शराब मत पीजिए, उसके बावजूद आज प्रदेश के देश से बाहर जाकर जर्मनी में उनको निकाला जाता है एयरप्लेन से कि आप उतरिए, आप नशे में हैं, आप ट्रैवल नहीं कर सकते.
यहाँ पे झूठ ना बुलाइए.
People are tweeting on that. आप कैसे मुख्यमंत्री से क्या मैसेज मिलता है? मुख्यमंत्री से क्या मैसेज मिलता है? मुझे बात मुख्यमंत्री जो नशे में ट्रैवल करते हैं, गिरते लुढ़कते फिरते हैं, उनसे क्या मैसेज आता है?
रंजीता जी एंड सनी वालूवालिया, वन आई वांट टू कंटेक्चुअलाइज. हमारी ऑडियंस सोच रही होगी आप क्या आर्ग्यूमेंट कर रहे हैं, मुझे थोड़ा कॉन्टेक्स्ट दीजिए. आज ऑपोजिशन, पंजाब की जो ऑपोजिशन पार्टीज हैं, उन्होंने ये आरोप लगाया कि मुख्यमंत्री जो पंजाब के हैं भगवंत मान, he was deplaned from a flight because he'd had too much to drink. ये ऑपोजिशन ने कमेंट दिया. आम आदमी पार्टी ने कहा ये सरासर झूठ है. तो अब मैं ये दोनों बातें रख रही हूँ. कैन वी प्लीज रिटर्न to the issue that we're here to talk about? Dharinder ji, please, I want to talk about the girls. मैं कल अलग प्रोग्राम करूंगी on Mr. भगवंत मान और मैं आप सबको बुलाऊंगी और आपको जितना आगे पीछे तू मैं करना है आप करिएगा. Right now let's focus on the girls. रंजीता जी, एक पॉइंट रेज किया गया है कि ये यूनिवर्सिटी जो है, इनके जो प्रमोटर है ये बीजेपी के बहुत करीब है. इसका सबटेक्स्ट ये है कि कहा नहीं डॉक्टर आलूवालिया ने, लेकिन एक तरह से आरोप लगाया that there is an instigation happening to create protest. So far there's been only one video. You can see that's the Indian Express, that first front page. This go ahead Ranjeeta ji, please go ahead.
देखिए, बिल्कुल संधू साहब ने एक दिन पहले मोदी जी के जन्मदिन के ऊपर बहुत बड़ा हेल्थ कैंप एक ऑर्गेनाइज किया था, जिसमें 5000 बच्चों ने ब्लड डोनेट किया. उसके अंदर 400 डॉक्टर बुलाए गए थे और सब तरह के टेस्ट फ्री कराए गए थे, और उसी के अगले दिन ये इंसिडेंट हुआ. मैं ये पूछना चाहती हूँ, क्या इन चीजों को आप कोरिलेट कर सकते हैं? एक यूनिवर्सिटी के अंदर अगर ये मैंने बताया कॉमन एरिया जो था उस पे कैमरास नहीं लगे हुए थे, बॉयज हॉस्टल को गर्ल्स हॉस्टल में कन्वर्ट किया गया था, ये यूनिवर्सिटी के पार्ट पे बिल्कुल लापरवाही है. पर बाद में जब बच्चे प्रोटेस्ट पे बैठते हैं और बाद में उस प्रोटेस्ट को कन्वर्ट कर दिया जाता है कि ये प्रोटेस्ट वीडियोस के लिए नहीं है, ये प्रोटेस्ट उनकी सिक्योरिटी के नहीं है, वो उनका टाइमिंग चेंज करवाने के लिए. वो चाहते हैं कि उनका टाइमिंग 7 से 9:30 बजे कर दिया जाए. तो हर चीज को पुलिस से लेकर प्रशासन से लेकर एवरीबॉडी इज ट्राइंग टू कवर अप द थिंग्स और चीजों को छुपाने की कोशिश.
Can you give the one example? Can you give me one example, Ranjeeta ji, of what you think has been the biggest cover up according to you?
देखिए, बिगेस्ट कवर अप ये है कि वहां पर बिल्कुल ये वीडियोस जो हैं वो लीक हुए हैं और उसको वार्डन से के स्टेटमेंट के बाद पुलिस वाले कवर करने की कोशिश क्यों कर रहे हैं? पुलिस वालों की स्टेटमेंट ये होनी चाहिए कि इन्वेस्टिगेशन हो रही है। वो कह रहे हैं जी रूमर फैलाए जा रहे ने, सानू तो कुछ मिलिया ही नहीं, एंबुलेंस जब जा रही सी बॉडीज असं सोचा वाकई कोई कैजुअलिटी हुई है। बार बार पुलिस वाले रिपीट कर रहे हैं कि हमें सिर्फ 4 वीडियोस मिले हैं, जब इन्वेस्टिगेशन
एक्चुअली वो कह रहे हैं एक वीडियो, वन वीडियो ऑफ द गर्ल
पहले पहले एक स्टेटमेंट है, एक पुलिस वाले ने 4 वीडियोस बताई, आफ्टर दैट वो वीडियो एक पे आ गई है। आफ्टर दैट ये कहा जा रहा है कि जो वार्डन है वो समझा रही है लड़की को, भाई तूने अपनी वीडियोस क्यों बना के बाहर ली की, वो तो उसको स्कोल्ड कर रही है। आपके सामने है कि सब चीजों को छुपाया जा रहा है। अगर उसकी अपनी वीडियो है तो बिल्कुल क्वेश्चन बनता है कि उसको क्यों अरेस्ट किया गया है। इट इज हर लाइफ, इट इज हर प्राइवेसी, ठीक है ना। तो सब चीजों को मिंगल किया जा रहा है और चीजों को ढकने की कोशिश है। जो एसआईटी बनाने की मांग की गई है बिल्कुल जायज मांग है, एसआईटी बनाई जाए और दूध का दूध पानी का पानी किया जाए। पूरा मोबाइल पे आज तक इतिहास में क्या इंटरेक्शन हुई वो पूरी क्लियर होनी चाहिए।
बिल्कुल ठीक है, आपने ये लास्ट पार्ट बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज कही, दैट इफ इट इज ओनली हर वीडियो एंड शी हैज नॉट बीन कोर्स्ड इनटू सेंडिंग इट, तो उनके अरेस्ट का कोई बेसिस नहीं बनता। इफ शी हैज बीन कोर्स्ड एंड शी इज द विक्टिम, तो फिर बिल्कुल ही नहीं बनता। नीलम एंड गुरमेहर, नीलम, I'll start with you. The contradictions are there in this program. We are not able to resolve these contradictions. Dr. Ahluwalia explains it by saying it's an ongoing investigation. What the students are saying has to be taken note of. But right now, only one video, that of the young woman herself, has been found. Neelam, go ahead.
I think there's no clarity. There's absolutely no clarity. And in a certain way, it's like a Chinese whisper. The girls tried to commit suicide. The girls actually fainted because of fear and anxiety. So one video has emerged. Multiple videos are not in evidence. So at the moment, even the police is trying to ferret out information through forensic tools. But for us to really comment on whether, and as very rightly everybody has been saying on this program, that if it's the video of a woman sharing intimate pictures of herself with her boyfriend, then it is their space and it is their decision, and we cannot really enter into it. So why is she arrested? But the fact is, it's become so politicized. Because it's become politicized, everything is mixed up. You can't pull out a thread and say that this is the truth because some other threads emerge which contradict the thread that's been pulled out. So I think at the moment we really need to say the police is with the Aam Aadmi party, so it's going to really speak the language of what the Aam Aadmi wants them to say.
But ulta bhi to kaha ja raha hai, Neelam. Ulta bhi to kaha ja raha hai ki promoter is with BJP. So this is there's no end to this.
Yeah, there's such a trust deficit. Then we might as well consider it a collapse of everything we believed in, collapse of every value we held sacred. Then we can't trust the police, we can't trust the judiciary, we can't trust the educational system, we can't trust each other. So what happens?
Yeah. I think for young women in particular, it's that last. Let me just. Yeah, I think you make a very important point that it's become impossible to separate fact from fiction. Let me bring in Gurmehar now. Gurmehar, if I can bring you up now. There's so much to unpack here. Even this idea of consensual nude selfies or private videos, this is very much a product of an internet age. It's very particular to a generation that lives online, and it also comes with all kinds of pressures. It also blurs the principle or the idea of consent. We actually have no idea that if this young woman right now in jail on the charge that she filmed the others, but let's say she didn't film the others and she filmed only herself, we actually don't know who this man is. Was it a relationship of equals? Was he a stalker? Did she consent? And if she filmed only herself, why is she in jail? And if she filmed the others, where are those videos? It's bewildering, the whole thing. Go ahead.
No, I completely agree with you. I think there is this conversation where there is a demand of clarity, and there is this idea about, and there is, this very automatic idea of I feel like I can only comment about this thing when I do have clarity. But I think what truly is happening is that, we are living in an age of public shaming, and what's happening right now is the way this discourse is being changed, even the way the protests are being, even the sentiment with which the protest and the anger is being charged. One, of course, is towards the university, but then the other is the sense of vilifying one young girl versus the other. It's almost as if the world has taken it is almost as if the world has taken the almost the duty and the sort of responsibility of delivering justice on which on who is on
You're
who.
saying you're uncomfortable that the woman who's the main accused could actually be right now the subject of a media trial.
100%. And I think no young women should be subjected to public shaming of any sort. And the university and the government both, because the government
But what if the charge
actively,
against her is true? What if she has actually been filming her hostel mates and selling those videos? That's the charge.
even if the charge against her is true, public shaming is not a path to justice. Her
Okay.
face should have been blurred in all the videos when those videos were taken. And I think this idea of putting up videos very quickly, this idea of commenting and pulling and turning one person into a victim, and like you said, who knows if she was taking those videos, if she was sending those videos to a man, what was that relationship, what was the power dynamic in there, could that girl be a victim? And I think there are so many ways to come to that conclusion, but the way is not a public trial. And public trials, and because the larger conversation is protecting our women from protecting a woman from shaming, whether that shaming is through their videos being leaked, or whether that shaming is through their them being accused of things and unfairly treated. So I think I feel that public shaming needs to stop.
Let me bring in Dr. Dharinder now. There's so much we don't know. That's the problem. And I think Neelam pointed that out, Gurmehar pointed that out, Ranjeeta believes it's a cover-up. But actually, there's just so much we don't know. We don't know. एक था, चार थे, छह लड़कियां थी, एक ही लड़की थी, क्या रिश्ता था उनका इस आदमी? He's older. Media reports are now suggesting the man arrested in Simla it was 31. So there is that dynamic. There's so much to unpack, and we simply don't have transparency. And the politics is threatening to overshadow what's actually at the heart of it, which is what's happening with the women. Dharinder ji.
No, so couple of things, Barkha, I would certainly like to say. I mean, I'd been raising my hand, so let me first address that issue. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me address that issue first. That what Dr. Ahluwalia did not say. So the owner of that university is not a part of BJP. I'm saying it with all responsibility here, right? Okay. He's not a part of BJP, and if people feel he's close to the BJP or an admirer of the BJP, I mean, contrary to popular perception, so is Barkha Dutt. So it's perfectly all right.
I thought every day I am supposed to be close to some other party. This is the life of a journalist. But chaliye, I'm not the story. Bataiye.
So that is one part of the issue, where I mean, Neelam ji and me, we've been a part of the same Punjab University. I've been on the Senate for 12 years there. We've been responsible making the posh rules there. So one understands this education space. But somewhere where I think I would slightly differ with her most respectfully is that even if these were her own videos, I'm not sure about the exact clause, but possibly under the IT Act, clause 67 or something like that. I mean, it's not coming to mind immediately. But even filming and transmitting of your own nude or vulgar videos is a crime. So it is not that if she was doing it for herself and sending it to her own boyfriend, as long as it was being transmitted over the electronic medium, the moment you start the transmission, it becomes a crime nevertheless. So it does not, I mean, of course, the fact that if she was doing it for other girls, it becomes far, far, far more serious. But that does not mean that what she's done is not a crime nevertheless. So we cannot let her assume that she be let off simply on that account, that even if they were her own. And I would not conjecture, without the investigation, that how many videos she made and whose videos she made.
I do have to start closing, but I'll allow Neelam a brief response and then close with Dr. Ahluwalia. Neelam, this ek minute, Dr. Ahluwalia, just brief response from Neelam. The universities are spaces which have to deal with all kinds of issues today that didn't exist in our time, right? The internet can be a beast. It can be a very powerful democratizing tool, but it can also be a beast. It has, we've seen recently girls, young women attacked by cyber stalkers offline because they've suddenly not wanted to talk. I think those are the issues that we should actually be talking about. Instead, we are locked in a political battle that I fear will stand in the way of ever really finding out what happened and what didn't happen. Neelam?
Having been a teacher at the university for the last 28 years, now, of course, I'm not there anymore, I understand the kind of fragility that happens when young students come from the length and breadth of Punjab, Haryana, which is what Punjab University caters to, Himachal. They come from small towns, they come into Chandigarh, which is like Paris for them. There is a kind of confusion about what urbanity means. What does it mean to be urban? And within that space, there is a kind of, there are conflicting values that they imbibe. But I think it's really the nature of a journey that you're taking into adulthood. Issues of right and wrong, moral and immoral are so obfuscated in a society which is so open to so many influences, so many cross-fertilizations, so many different kind of dialectics that are working continuously on you.
Yeah.
So, what Dr. Saab said about, the space, the cyber, the moment it's transmitted, it becomes not acceptable. I think these are processes. These are things that people understand and learn by trial and error. There can't be any. There has to be a more kind of liquid.
Like I said, sorry, I'm cutting you short because I have to close. But like I said, we just don't know enough. We don't know. We know nothing actually. We simply know that students are enraged because they feel their privacy has been violated. And after that, a number of very critical questions have been raised by all of you. So, Dr. Ahluwalia, as the ruling party of Punjab, what is it that you're promising women, not just in Punjab, but women who are watching this everywhere? Is it, do you agree that university band kar di? That seems another way to stop the protests, in fact. And it is not a government decision, of course, but I don't know. Dr. Ahluwalia?
Barkha madam, मैं दो तीन गल्लां करांगा, मैनू थोड़ा जिहा टाइम जरूर दिओ. Number one is that, see, we fully are responsible for anything which happens not only in Punjab but all over the India. As a citizen of India, yes, we are ruling party here, so we have more responsibility. In states we are in a ruling party. Once I said that this person, that the chancellor is part of BJP, so it is not an issue. But if you have been
denied, it's been denied, and if you get into that, they will get into the Bhagwant Mann, drinking
I will not
allegation.
get into this.
Please, let's close with our focus on the girls. Let's focus with our focus on the girls.
I just want to mention thing that we are taking the responsibility, that we are investigating the issue. Initially, whatever the investigation was there, it has been made public so that the girl has clearly said that there is no other videos. There may be other videos as well. We are not denying, but there may be. But initial investigation has clearly shown, and the mobile is already gone to forensic examination.
Okay.
Number two, as you said that who has closed the university? It was the decision of the management, and it was their decision. So we are not interfering with any kind of these things. But yes, if you've been to Chandigarh, all the boards in Chandigarh has only one name, and that was the vice chancellor, and where he mentioned that we are holding a camp, though he will contest elections in coming time from BJP, but they will not agree to this. I am sorry if I mentioned this, but no, yes, we are taking the responsibility. But yes, we will 100% make it sure.
Whether or not, yes, Dr. Ahluwalia, whether or not the promoter is linked to the BJP,
that investigation
whether or not,
we will make it public. We will make it public, and the Mansingh man is going to announce in the evening only.
Okay, may I just end by saying that the bottom line is that whether or not Satnam Singh Sandhu is close to the BJP, a fan of the BJP, is right now just one element in the conversation. The larger conversation is what happened. Do the girls have a safe space where they can express what happened? Is anybody paying attention to them and their voices? if there is not only one video, why has this girl been arrested? Notwithstanding Dr. Dharinder quoting the law, I don't think any of us actually believe that there would have been these mass protests and these arrests, as Ranjeeta also pointed out. And so, Dr. Ahluwalia, in the end, the police force has to conduct a credible examination, irrespective of who owns the university. Irrespective, that is not, I would say, material, in fact, to the truth of what actually happened behind those closed doors. We'll have to leave it there. We'll await keenly the results of the digital forensics, because I think they will provide us, hopefully, some next indications. And I would personally love to hear from the girls in that hostel who believe they have been filmed. There must be a reason that there are hundreds and hundreds of young girls and boys protesting day after day. We can't dismiss what they're feeling. Let's leave it there. Neelam, Ranjeeta, Gurmehar, Dr. Sanu Ahluwalia, Dr. Dharinder, thank you. And to our audience, see you tomorrow. Take care. It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Watch Her Story and support independent, robust journalism.